Hello, everybody. In this time, we are talking about risk analysis. Risk analysis is the process of identifying and analyzing potential issues that could negatively impact key business initiatives or projects. This process is done to help organizations avoid or mitigate those risks. Performing a risk analysis includes considering the possibility of adverse events caused by either natural processes such as severe storms, earthquakes, or floods, or adverse events caused by malicious or inadvertent human activities. An important part of risk analysis is identifying the potential for harm from these events, as well as the likelihood of their occurrence. And then, how to perform a risk analysis? The first step, identify risks. The first step in many types of risk analysis is to make a list of potential risks you may encounter. These may be internal threats that arise from within a company, though most risks will be external that occur from outside forces. It is important to incorporate many different members of a company for this brainstorming session, as different departments may have different perspectives and inputs. And then the second step, identify uncertainty. The primary concern of risk analysis is to identify troublesome areas for a company. Most often, the riskiest aspects may be in the areas that are undefined. Therefore, a critical aspect of risk analysis is to understand how each potential risk has uncertainty and to quantify the range of risks that uncertainty may hold. And then the third, estimate impact. Most often, the goal of a risk analysis is to better understand how risks will financially impact a company. This is usually calculated as the risk value, which is the probability of an event happening multiplied by the cost of the event. And then fourth, build analysis models. The inputs from above are often fed into an analysis models. The analysis model will take all available pieces of data and information, and the model will attempt to yield different outcomes, probabilities, and financial projections of what may occur. In more advanced situations, scenario analysis or simulations can determine an average outcome value that can be used to quantify the average instance of an event occurring. And then fifth, analyze results. With the model run and the data available to be reviewed, it is time to analyze the results. Management often takes the information and determines the best course of action by comparing the likelihood of risk, projected financial impact, and model simulations. Management may also request to see different scenarios run for different risks based on different variables or inputs. And then 6, implement solutions. After management has digested the information, it is time to put a plan in action. Sometimes the plan is to do nothing. In risk acceptance strategies, a company has decided it will not change course as it makes most financial sense to simply live with the risk of something happening and dealing with it after it occurs. In other cases, management may want to reduce or eliminate the risk. And then we move to risk analysis methods. The first method, bow-tie analysis. Bow-tie analysis is a risk analysis method used to manage and reduce risk. You begin this process by observing a potential risk and splitting it into two categories, one that includes all the potential contributing factors and one that lists all the potential consequences. From there, you can create new practices that address each of the potential causes and consequences. And then the second, decision tree analysis. The decision tree analysis method helps people and companies determine the best course of action in a scenario. To execute this method, companies start by analyzing a proposed decision and mapping out the various potential outcomes of the decision. Once you list all potential outcomes, as well as their likelihood of occurring, it is then possible to decide the best course of action for each issue. And then the third, Delphi. The Delphi technique is a risk analysis method similar to brainstorming, but the difference is the Delphi technique relies heavily on the use of expert opinions throughout the process. These opinions make it possible to evaluate, identify, and analyze risks individually. From there, each expert reviews the other risks to create a risk register which can include all potential risks and consequences. And then fourth, probability matrix. The probability matrix method is a prominent method of assessing risk severity when conducting a qualitative risk analysis, and it can assess risk at all levels of the company. The probability metric is a practical method of ranking the severity of various risks by calculating the risk potential impact. Not only does this allow companies to better determine the overall severity of a risk, but it also allows you to determine the main contributing factors to each potential risk. And then finally, fifth, SWIFT analysis. The SWIFT approach includes a team-based approach in a workshop environment. This process involves assessing how changes from a newly implemented plan or design may affect a potential project. Using what-if questions, teams can determine how changes may affect a project or initiative down the road. I think it is enough for this session. Thanks for watching, and don't forget give this channel with your like, comment, subscribe and share. Thank you.